Hi, welcome to a tutorial from Equaser. My name is Ahmed Shamshiri. I'm presenting this tutorial from Canada. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how we can use this Casio FX-300MS scientific calculator. Let's get started with this. A lot of other videos related to this. All of those, the link for all of those will be in the description. Make sure to watch them. This tutorial will apply to FX-82MS, FX-85MS, FX-220 Plus, FX-300MS, and 300MS Plus. I'm going to cover everything that this calculator can do, except with the exception of statistical calculation, because it's very long and it will make the video very long. So I will have separate video, and also for a lot of other features of this video I will have separate video with detailed explanation with a lot of examples. But the rest I'm going to go with the examples for all the features that this calculator can do. So the calculator comes with a hard case. Always use this when you're storing it in your backpack, because the books and other stuff will wrap this these numbers, the label on the keyboard. So make sure the labels on these buttons, so we make sure to put this. And the calculator comes with the solar cell. Whenever there is enough light, it will eliminate waste of the battery, so that's very good. And this one uses LR44, one battery. To replace the battery, you will have to open this panel and replace it. At the back, we also have a reset push button where you can press it and hold it while the calculator is on for over 3 seconds, and the calculator will be resetted. The calculator has multiple types of buttons. For example, power on is very low. If you look at it from this side, I don't know if it is viewable or not, but the rest of the buttons are raised, and we have this arrow that will allow you to go up and down in the previous calculation, so you can see them. And with these left and right, you can go within the calculation. We have two lines here. The top line each has 4 by 5 characters. These are dot matrix, which can display any character on the screen, so that makes it very pleasant. And the numbers and digits are here. At the top, we will have some other characters that will display certain operation of the calculator. The statistical calculation is not covered in this tutorial. I will have separate video explaining that. The link for this video will be below this video. So to turn on and off this calculator, we press this shift and then AC here. This will turn it off. And to turn it on, we press this on button. Now the display of the contrast can be set by pressing the mode once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and you see contrast, and we press 2. Once you press 2, then you can lighten it and then or dark it, make it darker. Now, because I'm sitting in a certain angle, if you you will see it actually like this in front of you, but that is from the top, so you don't see the extra color that I see on the screen. And after that, you just press AC all clear and it will exit. And if the contrast did not help, you can clear the screen. This CLR, when you press shift, you can control it. Let's say press shift and clear. When you do that, you can get 3 options. M clear, which is memory clear, and then mode clear, and then all clear. Memory clear will remove all the values that are in the memory, which I'm going to explain next. Mode is the mode of operation. It will set it into default, and if you select all of the values, everything will be resetted. So let's say press 3. I'm pressing 3, and here I'm it just waits for me to press equal sign, and this is already resetted, so you can press AC or all clear, and it is done. All these buttons have 2 or 3 features. For example, this button has 2 features. If you press it directly, it will be X cubed, and if you need to do the cube root, you have to press shift. The color is like yellow, and the shift is the same, so all these yellow labels beside each button will be activated when you press shift. And if some of them have red color, they will be activated with alpha. Now let's see how we can set the degree, radian, and gradient setting. Press mode button, and then once, twice, and then you see degree, radian, gradient. Let's say you want to put it in radian, press 2, and you will see R here. That R is showing that this is set in radian. And then if we go to the mode, we will see here this regular computation, standard deviation, and then regression. These are for statistics. And if I press 2, you will see that SD standard deviation is displayed, so we know that we are in statistics and this is not normal operation. So press mode again, and then 1, you will press it and that disappears. So this is a normal computation. Once you type some value, let's say 56, and you made a mistake, you want to change the 6 to something else, press this del, and it goes 1 character back, and then you can type something else. Let's say you have 10 plus 100, and you want to add here before 100, you want to add 2 times 100. For that, we need to press insert. I can go with this left arrow, and here this is allowing you to edit your equation or your calculation. At the moment, if I press 3, the 1 will be replaced with 3. You see here, and then the next one I can go back. But if you want to insert something, go back at 3, and then press shift this insert. Now you will see that we see a special, and let's say you want to make 2 times 300, you want to add 2 and then times, and as you can see the cursor is there, and I can press equal sign, so I have just inserted extra value on my calculation line. To do this calculation, 9 plus 4 times 3, we just inserted, we type it the same way, no, 9 plus 4 times 3. The order of operation is such that 4 times 3 will be calculated first, which is 12, and then 9 will be added, which is 21 here. And if you want to do 2 plus minus 7, 2 plus, for a minus, we will use this minus 7. Even though there is plus and this minus, you will not get error, it will work. Now let's see how we can do 4 plus 3 divided by 2 plus 11. For that, we have to press an parenthesis, open a parenthesis, 4 plus 3, and then close it, divided by open parenthesis, 2 plus 11, and then close, and you will get the answer. And if you need to do the 5 squared or any value squared, we have dedicated squared button here. We just enter 5 and then press this. You don't need to put any square bracket or anything, just do with the rest of the calculation, either press equal sign, or if you want to do something else, it will be just fine. And sometimes you need to do it cube, so you don't have to put separate cube. We have a dedicated cube, 5 cube, and the same way it will be cubed. If you need to do to the power of other than 2 and 3, let's say 5, 8, or whatever, so we do 4, and then we press this button, and we press 8. Now this is 4 to the power 8. And if you want to do another calculation beside it, in order to avoid any error, make sure to open a parenthesis, 4 to the power 8, and then close it, then plus something. This way you will eliminate any error that arises. In many math calculation, you have base of 10, and then to the power some number. For that reason, you see here we have 10, so we can press shift 10, automatically 10 to the power, and then we press 3. And the same way, if you want to avoid error, if you have another calculation, so shift 10, 3, and then close it, and then you can continue with your calculation. 4 to the power minus 1 is actually 1 over 4, and it has a lot of application in math. For that purpose, we have a dedicated button here, so we just press 4 and then to the power. After this, you don't need any parenthesis or anything, because this has been raised up, it will not interfere, so you can do plus some number. So this means 1 over 4 plus 6, so it doesn't do 4 to the power 1 plus 6, so it doesn't do that, so you don't need to put any parenthesis, it will just work fine. And let's say you want to do 9 to the power 5, and then to the power 1 over 3. So first open parenthesis, 9 to the power 5, close parenthesis, to the power 3 like that. That means to the power 1 over 3. But I can do it the same way, 1 divided by 3 if you want, and you will get 38.9, the same value. And now if you want to do 5 squared plus 3 to the power 5, 5 squared plus 3 to the power 5, we will just do it this way. And if you want to see the calculation history, you can just go up and you will see previous calculations. Now let's see, we have fix 8, fix for example 3 or some value. For example, in certain calculations you want only 3 digits or 3 decimal, you can use fix. Press mode once and then twice, 3 times, and you see fix. We can press 0 to 9, for example. If you want to work with many, you can make it 2 digits, let's say 3, and this way all the calculation will always have 3 decimal places and the rest will be rounded. To go back to normal mode and then 1, 2, 3 and then press 3, it will go back to normal, and we are here. And scientific is when you work with scientific notation and then the significant digits that you want, once, twice, and then 3 times. You see SCI 2. Now it says how many significant digits you want. The same way, for example, if I press 3, you will have 3 significant digits available in your calculation. We have something called normal. Let's go back from significant scientific notation. You see SCI, press mode, and then again 3, normal 1, we disappear. Now let's see normal 1. Normal 1 is if you do 1 divided by 300, 1 divided by 300 equal sign, you will see it is displayed this way, 3.33 to the power times 10 to the power minus 3. But if I do the 3 and then select 2, now it is displayed as 0.003, no scientific notation at the end. Depending on how you want it, you can set it. I prefer this way, so mode norm 2. Let me press it once, twice, 3 times, 4, and then display 1. Here we have these options, and there is arrow, which I'm going to explain it. If I select 1, now 7 divided by 3, let's pay attention. 7, press this, 7 divided by 3. If you do that, it will show you in the improper fraction. To change it back, we press AB, so you will get decimal. And then if I go back once, twice, 3, 4 times, 1 display, and then select 2. Now 7 divided by 3 will be 7 over 3 or decimal. So you will not see the improper fraction. It will be always as proper fraction, which I will prefer this way. And then if I press once, twice, 3, 4 times, display 1. And if I go to the right with this arrow, you see dot or comma. Currently we have a decimal point as dot. If you want it as comma, in some countries there is comma, press 2. And then if I have 2.63, you will see that it is displayed as comma here. Let's change it back. I prefer dot 1, and it is now dot. Now let's see how we do this type of calculation. For I open parenthesis, 4 squared plus 7 cubed divided by 3. At this point, if you have other values after this, make sure to put a parenthesis here. Let me do that. 3 to the power minus 2, and then close it. That's the result of calculation. And let's see how we can enter this. Open a parenthesis, 3 to the power minus 2 plus 5 to the power 0.6, parenthesis, close, times open a parenthesis 45 plus 1, and that's the value, calculated value. Now let's see how we can do sine, cosine, and tangent calculation. It depends on the settings of a unit. Because this is degree, we have to be in degree. This is in radian. I'm pressing it once, twice, and then making it degree by pressing 1. Now it is degree, all clear. So we press sine and then 45. Now this is the value. If you want to do cosine of pi over 2 in terms of radian, make sure to set this to radian once, twice, and then press 2 for radian. It is R now. Cosine, open a parenthesis. I can press shift with this pi here. Divided by 2, close it, and it will give you 0, which is true. Inverse of sine is used to find from the value. You can get the angle. Let's say inverse sine of, or arc sine of 1 over square root of 2. Because this is in degree, I want the result in degree. Press once, twice, 1 degree. Now for the sine inverse, press shift, sine or arc sine, sine to the power minus 1, open a parenthesis, 1 divided by square root of 2, and then close it. You will get the angle, which is 45 degrees. Let's say sine hyperbola of 45 degrees. For that we use this hype. So you press hype and then sine, it becomes sine hyperbola, and then 45 because it's in degree. I'm okay. And then inverse of sine hyperbola is, I can use hype and then press shift and then inverse sine. You will see inverse sine of hyperbola of 60. It will do that for you. Now let's see how we can do the logarithm. For the log, we have a button, logarithm. When you don't have any other value, this means log base 10 of 12, and this is the value. This is natural logarithm, or ln. For natural logarithm, we use this one, ln of 5. This is the value. This is the Euler number to the power minus 3. First, if you want to get the Euler number, this is shift E, that is Euler number, and equal sign, that's the value. But if you want to do Euler number to the power minus 3, we have a dedicated value for that. Press shift this, automatically it will enter Euler and to the power minus 3. So that is the value. If you want to do square root of 9, press square and 9, that is the square root. Cube root of 27, this is a cube root, press shift and cube and 27. If you want to do fifth root of some value, let's say 5, type 5, press shift and this button, so the 5 is on the outside, 1, 2, 5, equal. If you forget to enter that, and if you press this with 1, 2, 5, because the value is missing, it will say syntax error. You did not follow proper entering value or syntax. Now let's see factorial. Factorial of 4 means 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. And then the factorial is here. Press type 4 and then press shift and then factorial. You will see it factorial and the value is 24. If you want to do factorial of 7 plus 2, open a parenthesis, 7 plus 2, close, shift, and then factorial. When you bring the factorial at the end, that's the result of that. Now let's see how we can do in terms of statistical calculation. This is called permutation. 10 pick 3. So we enter 10. That's NPR. 10 is the N, P, and then R is 3 here. So press shift. You see 10 P 3. That is the answer. If you want to do 49 C 6, that is 49 choose 6. Most of the time in the Western countries, this is a lottery. So they call it 649. From 49 you can pick 6, and let's see what is the chances of winning. 49, and then this is NCR. NCR is directly 6. As you can see, it shows 13.98 million, which is around 14 million. So 1 in 14 million is a chance of winning. So we should not waste our money in that. Scientific notation. If you want to enter 5 times 10 to the power 2, so you can enter 5, and then this button has multiple things. Times 10, and already to the power, it just waits for you to enter 2. If I press this, you will see it. And then just press 2 directly. This is the value, which is 500. If you want to do other calculation beside it, it's better to put a parenthesis before and after. For example, 12% of 1350. So you enter 12 times 1350. For percent, we are pressing shift and this button. So shift and this, that is the value, 12% of 1350. Now let's say the value is 500 and you want to add 13% tax to it. So 500 times 13 and then percent, shift with this, shift this. You just add plus. When you add it, automatically you get the value added. If you want to give discount, 500 times 25, shift this. That is 25% of 500, but you want to subtract it, just press negative or minus, you get 325, 25% have been subtracted. Let's see how we can do the angle conversion. You have 90 degrees, you want to convert it to radian. Set it to radian, press once, twice, 2 radian. Now this is in radian, we enter 90, and then press shift, and then this DRG button here. Once you press it, it says what is your value. We have to say, because this is in degree, we have to press 1 for degree. As you can see, it says 90 degrees. Because this is radian, when I press equal sign, it will convert it to radian, 1.57. That is the value. If you want to do 3.6 radian to gradient, we have to be in gradient, once, twice, grad 3. Now 3.6, again shift DRG at the bottom. Our value is in radian, I'm pressing 2, so 3.6 R radian. And let's say you want to do 35 degrees to gradient, so it is in G, so 35, shift GRD 1, 35 degrees, and it is in terms of gradient 38.8. Now let's say you want to do 4 plus 6, 4 plus 6 equal. Now this 10 is, if I press clear, already available as part of this answer. If I press answer, let me show you, it shows answer. Now I can use this answer in my calculation by adding something, or just pressing equal sign, it will give me the last answer or last calculation. Now let's see how we can use the independent memory. This calculator has multiple memories. It has A, B, C, D, E, F, X, Y, and M. These are labeled with pink or yellow, pink or red, whatever you call it, when you press alpha. So we have referring to this. But this independent memory is not a variable memory. So let's say 4 plus 6 and you want to store it. So 4 plus 6, and then pay attention, there is an M. If I press M plus, it has been stored and an M appears. Now I'll clear this. M shows that there is something in the memory. To recall the memory, we press recall and then M plus. It will give you the value of M. And if you want to clear the memory, just press 0 and then shift STO. This STO means store, and then M. Now that M disappeared and it shows 0 have been stored into M. So our memory is now cleared. Now let's see how we can use this in our calculation. For example, 3 times 135, 3 times 135, just press M. Now it has been added into the memory. And 8 times 1.23, 8 times 1.23, if I press M, the result of a calculation will be added on top of a previous value. no worries, all clear. And 1398 plus 35, and this is added as well. 5 times 135 added. And to recall the memory, we can press recall and then M, and that is the value. If you want to do subtract from the memory, let's say 1000, for subtract we have to press shift and then M, so this will subtract 1000 from memory. If you want to use the memory in your calculation and then recall M, press left arrow and then M plus something, and you can do the calculation like that. We have to first know that this calculator has the following memory variables for the memory: A, B, C, D, E, F, X, Y, and M, and these have been labeled here with red color, as you can see: A, B, C, D, E, F, X, Y, and M. This E cannot be replaced. This is the same color, but this is a Euler number. So we have all these values that are these memory variables that we can store a value and then use it back in our calculation. For example, if you want to store 2.56 into memory E, 2.56, the value can be result of a calculation, whatever it is, as long as you have it here on the screen. Then we can press this STO. STO is the second function of this button. So we press second function or shift, we press shift and then STO. Now you can see STO here. Now all these memory variables are waiting to be pushed, and this value goes into that memory. Because we want this one to go into memory E, we are pressing E. Now this value is saved into memory E. We can press all clear. And let's say you want to store 32 into A, 32, and then again shift the store and then A. The value is stored there. And let's say 5.10 into F, 5.10, and then second function shift into F. The value of N is stored. And then let's say you want to do pi times 3.8 into B. Pi is here second function of this button. Pi is the second function of this button. I have to press shift. So shift pi times 3.8. Now the value is here. I'm pressing shift, store, and then B. The value is calculated and is stored in the B. So this is the value that goes into B. Now let's say you want to recall A. All clear. For recall, we just press this button, recall A, and that is the value. Now, if you want to use all these values in a calculation, for example, you want to use 2E plus F plus B and get the result, we can do so. Then 2 and then recall E, exactly the same way that you write it, plus recall F plus recall B. And if I press equal sign, that is the calculated result of those variables. Let's say you want to store 45 into X, 45. Second function is store and then X. The value has been stored. And if you do even with a little complicated, 2E plus A cosine of X. So 2 recall E plus recall A cosine of recall X. That's the calculated value. You can do F divided by 3, recall F divided by 3, or B plus 665, the same way. This is improper fraction and that is proper fraction. To enter them, 3 and then improper fraction button here 1, then 1, and then again this over 2. So 3, 1 over 2 plus 5, and then we can press this. We can press 5 over and then 6 equal. Now with guess syntax error, let's go back. So first, let's go here once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then 1. And then we have to be in this mode to have that. Now 3, 1/2 plus 5/6. Now we will not get error. Now this is the value. If you want to get the decimal, just press this. It will be converted to decimal and back to this format. So display was very important in this. Now let's see how we can do the polar and rectangular conversion. I have separate video with multiple examples, but this is very simple one. Let's say r is 6 and theta is 36.8 in terms of degrees, and you want to find x and y. So because you want to find rectangle, we press second function REC, and here we press 6 and then this comma and then 36.8. Make sure that you are in degree. Let me press it once, twice, 1 degree. Now it is in degree, and then 36.8, and then close it. When you press equal sign, you get the x, 4.8, and then x and y are stored here. X is in F, x is in E, and y is in F. To get that, press recall and F. So that is 3.5. Let's say you want to get back x, recall and E. So E and F will have x and y. And let's say you have x 14, y 10, and you want to get r and theta. This time because we want to convert it to polar, press pol, and then 14, comma 10, close it, and now this is r 17.1, and then for theta, because it is in degree, it will give you in degree. So press recall F, and that is 35.5 degrees. Now let's see how we can generate a random number. For random, we can use this random here at the bottom with shift. If I press shift and then random equal sign, it will give me the value. Because this is already on the screen, if I press it again, it's just decimal between 0, just greater than 0 and smaller than 1. It will never be 1. So it's just random number that generates. Now let's see how we can do the sexadecimal, degree, minute and second into decimal. Let's say you have 14 degrees. You press this button and then 40, and then press it again, and then 16.2 and press it again. Now if I press equal sign, it will be displayed here, but if I press the same button, it will tell me in decimal. If I press it again, it will give me back sexadecimal. 176.34 degrees to DMS, or sexadecimal 176.34. Press this, it will be converted into sexadecimal, that is degree, minute and second. To get it back, just press this, it will convert it. Thank you for watching. This was the tutorial on how to use this Casio FX-300MS Plus scientific calculator. I've covered everything, but for further detail and example for each section, the link for those videos will be in the description. I have a separate video for statistics, because statistics would make this video very long. I have detailed explanation and example for statistics, including regression. The link for that is in the description. If you like this video and learned something, please thumb up, as this will help my video in the search algorithm of YouTube. If you have comment or question, post it at the comment section below. I try to answer and reply. If you want to get updates of my upcoming videos, make sure to subscribe. This answer button, and we have to say that it is in degree. Number 1, divided by 5,000. So 1500 times 100, and then press equal sign 2 and E 4.2. Because pi over 4 is 45 degrees. Pi is 180, pi over 4 is 45 degrees, so